Good morning. Tuesday, 4th of May. May the 4th be with you today. If you're not a Star Wars fan, which actually I'm not, but I couldn't get through the day without saying that. I do recall we had a very funny May the 4th be with you movement snack last year. And I learnt quite a bit about Star Wars, i.e. it's not the same as Star Trek. So if you are a Star Wars fan catching up and would like to enlighten us about the difference, that would be helpful, interesting, beneficial, or don't know. Anyway, it's just me at the minute. No one else is here. Is anyone there? Is anyone else having an extra few minutes kip due to May Day digging? I wonder. So come on in, get yourselves in position for the 8 a.m. if you would like. I will be here on one knee for the next 4.5 minutes for the preamble ramble, hopefully with some headlines and hellos from you lot, the movement snackers, just to get everyone in the zone, really. It's our one of 3 kind of daily connecting meeting points, just to have a chat and say hello and talk about something and nothing quite often, hopefully fueled by your headlines. Otherwise I just keep on rambling. I can see a couple of people have arrived. Who are you? Where are you? What's your name? Where'd you come from? Give us a hello, give us a wave, or something similar. Or just sit back and wait for the movement snack to start, if that's your preference. And I can see why. The last thing you might want first thing in the morning is this. So in about 4 minutes, we can crack on, get going with it. For now, thank goodness, someone is talking to me. Super G, rainy here, but expected high winds through the night, failed to materialize. Now, I think those high winds, Super G, made it down here to haven't. Morning, Ian. Morning, Margaret. Ian's ready. Now, Rian, I have... Ian... Ready and Ian reads Rian. Ian, I have got a bonsai update for you. I think it's a non-update, but I am going to show you how the bonsais are progressing. Morning, snack mates. Thanks, Margaret, for saying hello. Catching up today, Maddie. No problem at all. Morning, Bex, and everyone here. Yes. Anyway, someone's just flew up your screen and I've missed it. I thought we'd ease into today with some strings. Bit of canon and some strings for you there. But I'm kind of with you, Super G. As I was listening to it, it nearly did send me back off again. But once that uplifting kind of rhythm shift kicks in, it does become quite uplifting, I think, and motivational. Awake most of the night with the sounds of strong winds and rain. Yes, we did have a bit of an eventful night here, but I won't go into that now. Still very windy here too. It's definitely a hat day. I will be venturing out at some point today, and I will definitely be wearing a hat. Morning, Carol is in from Scotland. Everyone, dull but dry. Okay, you ready for the bonsai update? I might have over-pruned. Chance be a fine thing. Here they are. If you imagine the Star Wars theme tune, Star Wars or Star Trek, May the 4th be with you. If you imagine that theme tune in the head as I launch the bonsais here they are. And then imagine the music from Star Wars as these bonsais fly through space. Just to be clear, I'm bonsai-less. I haven't over-pruned, if that's what you think. There is zero, nothing, niente bonsai to be found in any of these 5 pots. I'm close to giving up. Ian, this is the fridge stage. I did switch the fridge for the garage. I just couldn't face putting these in the fridge. I mean, why? Why? Any bonsai tips? Please help me out. The days are numbered. Those days are numbered. If you don't buck up, your days are numbered, boys. Anyway. Hello, Padab Posse are in. Red Rita is in. I don't know why I'm rolling my R's. Morning Wi-Fi problems today. Oh, no, not the dreaded Wi-Fi. Margaret, it's early days. What, in 99 years, is it? Something will start to happen. I mean, how much more time do you give them? Not even a sign. Not even a sign. Nothing. Yes, it's May the 4th be with you, Maddie. It's Star Wars Day. Are you a Jedi? All the Jedis in the house, put your hands up. This is me put my hands down. I'm not a Jedi. Window here, not too much damage. I was a bit worried about my sweet peas this morning. I said to Mum, how's my sweet peas? Put those out last week. They're okay. Thanks, Sue. Thank you. You think I'm doomed to failure with those bonsai seeds? That hurts. That hit me hard, but I think you might be right. Probably years. Yeah, I know, but you know, nothing. There's something a bit furry in there. Maybe once the seeds turn to mould, who knows? I think about 30 seconds and then we're there. I mean, if there's anyone out there that has had success with bonsais from seed, maybe we could start some kind of support group, Facebook bonsai support group. Ian, 4 months and that was it. That's it. 4 months. Did you give them a stern look at that and say, we're over? Right. Do you think? Really, Diane? Okay, so I've got Ian saying 4 months and he binned them, and I've got you saying, make patience my mission. Okay. Back in the garage for you, like you live another day, maybe. Right, ready. Yes, Red Rita, there are seeds in there. I put them in there with my own bare hands. Right, ready, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, bonsai and movement fans. My name's Beck Stanley from Later Life Training. Morning, Sister T. I could just see you snuck in. It's the 8 a.m. Get Go. May the 4th be with you, all Jedis and non-Jedis. All Star Trek, you know, all the same, really. Pick or chew, sit or stand options, 3 trios and 3 rounds of Cirque Boost. You can have your 3 rounds of toast after. We do 3 rounds of Cirque Boost here. Remember, you can see me, I can't see you. Make the best decisions for you. If you have any concerns about your balance, have a sit down. This morning's Get Go movement snack is all about lightly lifting heart rate with 3 rounds of Cirque Boost, moving all our major landmarks of the body to then help us deploy into the day for easier, smoother, more harmonious and enjoyable movement so that everyday life becomes a little bit easier. Ready? It's enough of that. Okie dokes. Where do you want to be? Chair height, ideally knee height. If it's a little bit too low, it's going to make it harder for you to get up out of that. Not necessarily a bad thing, but make sure it's sturdy and good to go for a little bit of movement this morning. If you're in stand, external support close to hand, and you might be in a position where you're going to switch between the two. So have a look at the movement and decide if you're going to give that a go in sit or stand. If you're unsure, take it in seated first and then consider that a progressive journey to work your way up to that. All right, standing prompts, hip width. Just an extra here, I've got socks on here this morning. Of course, make your best decisions for footwear. We wear socks generally in the 8 a.m.s just to give you an extra airing to the toes. That's not to say thou must wear socks. Please wear footwear if that's the right thing for you to do. Hip width, weight is even, knees a bit soft. Lift and lengthen, so just come a little bit more upright, bring the shoulders open and down. A relaxed but active, kind of ready to go position. Off we go. Start steady, stay steady. Can you see how low the knees are? If I turn sideways on here, you might feel better to have this support in front of you. It might be a bit higher. Anything that's kind of this height is probably best. My table's a little bit low for me. So just get going, find your rhythm and your pace. Don't be sucked into my pace. It's all about you. Have you got more movement in the ankles? Are you maintaining the lift through the your centerpiece, as I call it? If so, if all of that is good, then we can start to add in extra moving parts. Replacing a moving part, top end, left and right, just to give you that extra confidence if you would need, bringing it all together if that is right for you. So those are pretty much your standing options. Keep that ticking over. Keep that ticking over, folks. The Cirque Boost is all about the tick over, the gradual ticking over of the heart and lungs. In sit, active sit, that is to say, come away from the back of the chair so you're doing the work. And you might want to take a few rehearsals of those just to feel that active sitting position. Shoulder blades back and down, and then start the moving parts. Here we go again, and we just feel our way around all the moving parts. And this Cirque Boost is really about this rhythmical, steady, sustained series of movements, these kind of reciprocal movements that also replicate kind of walking type activities. Arms help with balance in stand. The faster we walk, the more we use them, for example. But here, we're just steadily finding this rhythmical arm march. If you know you're going to come up to stand on your feet at any point today, probably a good idea to involve the ankles, feet and toes in this sit position. Hip walk forward, backside to centre. Again, start everything small in terms of the range of motion, and then look to build it if that is right for you. If when you start to pluck these feet or push the knees up from the floor, if you feel that you start to kind of sway a little bit in the sit, take up some extra support, or just go back to the smaller range. So that the steadiness, the repetition of these movements, the big muscles of the legs combined with the arms, will have the effect of gradually and lightly lifting the heart rate. And that's really what we want to do in all situations, is kind of grade the level of effort. So rather than going from 0 to 60, okay, let's start at 0, creep our way up through 5, 10, 15, and gradually allow the body to respond to those extra demands. And that's really all movement is about, is our body responding and moving well for us. Here's another option here in sit. Easing back the elbow, so this might help with coordination. Bring those hands together. Fluid, steady, rhythmical, achievable for you. Bringing it all together as and when you're ready. Last few seconds of that, folks. I'm going to bring my feet back and down. I'm going to push up to stand, remain in sit if that is your preference. And then just take a pause everywhere, sit tall or stand tall, maintain the activity through the middle, get your balance in stand, just have a check that your weight is even. Enjoy the deep breath, that's what we want to feel, not breathless, not out of breath. All right, then let's work through the key landmarks. Those fundamental moving parts that are already embedded within your activities of daily living. Start with a shrug. In stand, as you can see, as I shrug, I lose contact with my external support there. So that may mean you want something slightly higher, like so. Or if you know this has given you extra confidence, have a sit down or just turn and lean your hips, and then you can start to build that range of motion. Lift, back, down, forward. Same in sit. Just be aware that as you're focusing on the moving part, you don't lose sight of what's happening in your supporting structures. So keep that active centre. With this active centre, it really helps and supports your moving parts. It's all part of successful movement. So we've got the shoulder blades. Can you feel them squeezing together? Make sure you take the time to come all the way down each time. That's our first layer of the top trio, which really leads us into and prepares for the neck movements, the head movements. If you feel you want to have a pit stop, if you feel your posture muscles getting tired, give them the rest. So take the pause, take the slump, and then lift and open and grow again. Head movements might challenge balance, so hands on external support or sit down. Here is the sideways glance and the pause in the middle. Really significant for this, folks. Any head turn has potential to challenge balance. Also has the potential to cause a little bit of dizziness depending on what we've been doing or how fast we do it. So this pause in the centre just helps us settle, understand how we're feeling, and it's a slow ease. And just to really be specific about that kind of left and right turn, just be aware that your chin is level, that we haven't got a lift or a dip, and just feel that steady turn and return. Are you aware that you're maintaining the support and the shoulder position? So we're just really focusing on that neck movement in the top end. 4 or 5 good ones, pause in the middle, and you might want to take a little bit of pause in between. Here's the third movement of the top trio. Another neck movement in a different direction, and if you start to think about or feel how you extend and lift through the postures, we open the shoulders here, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then that neck, that head position really finishes off that upright posture position. And we're looking to make the most of upright open postures to help with breathing, balance and arm movements, especially if, like me, you spent a lot of yesterday bent over digging. So we're thinking about the extensors, all the muscles at the back of the body here there that help open and extend, and there's your ease back. So habitually we tend to be a bit forward flexed, so let's just put in those additional movements that perhaps we don't spend so much time in. Ready for second round circ boost. Keep it ticking over. Where did you leave off after the first round? It doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing exciting about circulation boost. It's just getting the job done, like the washing up. I won't mention the ironing word because we know that I don't do that. Start steady, stay steady, pick it off where you left it off last time. That could be all together. Keep it separates if you prefer. Hands on support if that's better for you. Come down to sit if you want to really think about that rhythmical movement without concerns for balance. Even if you are in sit and you know you're going to spend time on feet today, this is where you can skill up the ankles, feet and toes. It's where you can start to improve movement and mobility without any balance concerns. And you should feel with that little bit of circulation boost, we've got another flurry of deeper breaths. That's what we're after. So we've got those respiratory muscles working a little bit more as well. 3 movements of the trunk already in your day. We're looking to make the most of them and optimize them here in the movement snack. I'll give you the sit prompts first and the stand ones in a moment. Buttocks form the base of support in sits. You might want to take the feet a little bit wider as well. Maybe start with a pit stop. Start with a slump and then feel what happens as you come to upright position, and just explore a side bend and a pause in the middle. Side bend, pause in the middle. Remove, other than using the hands maybe for support, you might want to put them on the arms of the chair, but just the focus is on this trunk bend. So we're kind of bending in the middle. So you've got this squeeze on one side and of course a stretch on the other. And as you feel confident that that bend and return is working for you, you might want to squeeze a little bit further each time, and you may want to take a pause in the middle each time. And it's really about the specifics of sideways bending. We need movement in the trunk for washing, dressing, the most fundamental of movements in daily life. In stand, just to remind, wide stance to get that bigger, wider base of support. Bit of bend in the knees, so you're going to have a little bit of tension in the thighs. This is good. There's your sideways bend and return. Pause in the middle, bend and return. Just one more on the frontal profile here. Bend towards the support, see how that feels. Be aware that if you're going to bend away from the support and you know you need this, really is best to have that in front of you. Okay, step out of that, maybe a few extra foot pedals, maybe a bit of a slump and a few freestyling shoulder rolls. Ahead of resetting up for the trunk turn, the trunk twist. So in stand, it's a wider stance always. Remember my analogy, you can't fire a canoe from a cannon. We need a really strong base of support from which movement can then do its thing. So there's the sideways turn, and it's all about your middle bit. Keep the hips fixed, keep the legs strong and firm. Think about your sternum and your nose just turning towards the corners of the room. Any concerns with balance, support in front of you, or have a sit down. In sit, you might feel this one. You might feel that in a sit position with your buttocks supported, you can get more turn, bigger ranges of motion, because there's less requirement of the legs and we've already fixed that base of support position. You can include a bit of a head turn if you want, but the focus is really about the trunk. And we need this movement fundamentally in all of our activities of daily living for reach, grab, look to see where we're going. If you wanted to, you could bring in an extra bit of arm turn if you would like, or just bring the arms round. But can you feel your middle bit doing the work here? Ease, control, remove any pace or momentum. It's an ease and return and a pause. In stand, I think I've done the stand one. Just be extra aware in stand. If you've got your hips close to a table, as you take the turn, you shouldn't feel any shift or move around the hips. I say you shouldn't. Of course, in daily life, your hips are going to move all the time. It's just for purposes of this movement snack, we're aiming for them not to, because we're being more mindful of how hips and support can help and improve movement in the top end. All right, third round. No, it's not. It's back extension. Are you keeping up with all my errors today? Back extension, in stand. Hip width maybe slightly wider, into upright, and then an extra squeeze in the top end. So again, hips stay firm. You might want to put your hand on your buttock here. That could ease there. Can you see I've got the other hand on the support? So as I extend back from the middle bit, there is no weight transfer in the feet. I'm really rock solid in stand, and in sit, if I turn sideways here, again, lifted high on the hips, and there's the back extension. This one forms part, or is really used and comes into its own for all of our activities of daily living, that kind of takes place shoulder height and above. So if I want to get my arms somewhere, that extra movement from the back there is going to help me get there more easily. Take a pause after each one. Your posture muscles will get tired. They're designed to hold us upright, to support us in addition to moving. So if you feel yourself having a slump, take it. Take the slump, folks. But, if you're going to move, prepare and then use it for that movement. So rest is good, slumping is good. We need a bit of that recovery as well. Right, now we're on third round of Cirque Boost. In sit or stand, separate, could be lower limb only, could be arms only, with some other options. Could be the row, could be single arms, could be single arms and some legs for support. She says getting a coordination. Or it could be in stand with support in front, with or without arms. The selection, it's a pick and mix for you to choose. Okay, so that's our third round of Cirque Boost. Brings us down to the last trio of ankles, feet and toes. If lower limbs are not on your radar, you know what I'm going to say, go around the top two trios, crowbar in some extra Cirque Boost, or it could be an ideal moment to rehearse some of the 4 p.m. sway from Dave's yesterday. So having moved everything, it might be also the time to crowbar in a bit of three-dimensional movement ahead of your day. But for now, we're going to go ankles, feet and toes. I'll give you the standing prompts first today. Use external support. We don't want this to challenge balance. That's not the primary aim. Outside leg does the moving there. So it's heel and toe. And you're trying to pick up the knee to get the toe where the heel was. Outside leg is always the moving leg, and support on the inside here, and this supporting leg is working for you as well. So that's the ankle movement. You're going to feel that in the front of the shin as the toes come up. You're going to feel that in the back of the calves as the toes go down. But also do a couple leaving the toes behind, get the toe hinges going, maybe take some toe scrunches in stand, couple each side. Keep the support structures lifted and active. Here's your your sit options, folks. From back of chair, i.e. if you're here, you might want to have a hip walk back. Keep the thigh in contact with the chair. Take a low lift and take your flexes and points here, and you can get your toes getting extra active here as well. Be specific, folks. I always say here, rather than wiggle and waft, can you really press down and pull back? Be as really specific about this movement as you can. We're aiming to improve this kind of fundamental movement required for walking. So if you're working towards standard activities, chair stuff can really help support, skill that up. We do need to come up onto feet at some point to get the real progression going, but we can have a look, we can see what's going on, and we can improve movement for sure. Here's another option, hip walk forward. Could crowbar in an extra one of those if you want. Here's the other option. It's similar to our stand option, but because we're sat down, you might get a bit of a squeeze in the hip here. So if it's not comfortable, if you've got long legs, it might not be comfortable. Take the one before, but here you go. That might be an option for you. Take up some extra support if you would like. And then after a few of those, again, toe hinges, toe squeezes, extend as well as squeeze through the toes. Bring that all together, perhaps with some deliberate rehearsal of foot placement, heel through to the whole of the foot, and really kind of leave those toes last and bring in that active sit position with a bit of a hip hinge, a bit of a buttock squeeze as well. In stand, if you're in standing, there's the deliberate steps again, and really make a meal of that back heel, squeezing up. You've got some extra extension through the front of the hips here as well. Here's some shirt offs to go. This is one we made up a few months ago now. It brings in the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the elbows, the wrists, the hands. There you go, and dan. Bex hugs to finish. Keep the chin lifted on this one, folks. Make sure you don't go into full-blown curve. So keep extended, but you're opening, closing the shoulder blades. And why not crowbar in a few extra calf raises ready for the get-go. In sit or stand. Back end squeezes for the get-go, and or maybe some extra sit to stands. There we go. No, nothing's happened since we were doing all that. The bonsais are still barren. All right, who will be back with you? Here we go. Let's really try and get the shifts right. You've got Kels at noon and Dave at 4. We have got some more anomalies this week, so we are doing all a switch around, but I think that's right for today. Deploy all of that is over and above anything else you're already doing. Hopefully, you're ready to be deployed into your day. And remember, may the 4th be with you, even if you're not a Star Wars fan. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bye for now.